There we are. Welcome everybody to this month's Intune Roundtable, specifically to recap all the Intune-related news from Ignite. We have a couple of special guests here, and I want to give you guys the room to introduce yourself. Maybe Lavanya, do you mind starting?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ugur, for having me here. Super excited. I'm Lavanya, and I lead the AI efforts for the Microsoft Security Intune product.
Lior, how about you? Everybody knows you.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you. No, I would have doubted. Hi, everyone. My name is Lior Bela, Business Director at Microsoft Intune, and I'm here just to support Lavanya because she's awesome.
Somesh.
Hi everyone, I'm Somesh Pathak, working with Ignite as Manager Modern Workplace Engineering, and I'm MVP in Microsoft Intune.
Lewis.
Hello, my name's Lewis. I work for Enforcer as Principal Security Architect, Intune MVP, and a very positive person to be around.
That's true. That's true. Was great meeting you guys again at Ignite. I hope your travel back home was less frustrating than mine. So I see a couple of messages in the chat. Just as a reminder, please go ahead and if you have questions, just put them in the chat, and we will try to answer them. All right, Lior, let's start with your session. I was in your session. I was very, very impressed with all the people that were attending your session. I also pulled up your slides. So I would like to start with showing a couple of things that were announced at Ignite for Intune. Let me see if my stuff truly works.
Sounds good. Just a disclaimer, my connection is not the best way, so if you hear me a little bit lagging.
All right. So yeah, I mean, these, if I'm not mistaken, these are all the Intune related news, right? Don't mind the font size here. But so for me, when I saw phase deployments, that got me most excited, to be honest. And also I think there are now in total 4 agents in Intune, which have very, very useful use cases as well. Maybe just have a better understanding or opinion from you guys. Right. What is most exciting, Lior, maybe from your perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. Just making sure you still hear me because I'm getting error messages on the screen.
Yes,
we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, let me see if he's still there.
I'm aligned with you on the excitement around phase deployment because phase deployment was a big piece around employee satisfaction per se, in the sense of the ability in phases, which is I'm sorry, the connection is really bad. I apologize. Just let me reconnect.
Yeah, no worries.
Ugur, I can talk about a couple of these that
sure,
you
please go ahead.
Showing it on the screen. So I think let me cover the AI side of the announcements that went out at Ignite, and hopefully by then Lior can join and he can talk a little more about where we are on the other capabilities. I think for us, one of the big things that we announced at Ignite this year was around the set of agents and also the admin tasks. And Ugur, I was right next to you, so you should actually share the excitement that you heard in the room. But in terms of agentic capability, the way we are thinking about the experience is not to agentify everything that we have in Intune, but kind of looking at it more from the perspective of the key scenarios that really are great to be qualified as agentic experience. Again, the way we look at AI agents is more from the non-deterministic perspective, right? Which is the true value add that you get from the LLMs that's running behind the scenes and the models that you leverage and then eventually fine tune with the data that you bring to the table, right? So which is where we did talk about the change review agent. Then we spoke about the device offboarding agent. Uh, and then I'll go a little deeper as we progress along the way to talk about some of these agents. Third one that we did talk about was the policy configuration agent, right? Earlier this year, we had announced the Intune vulnerability agent, which is part of limited public preview. So that's already available within the product. What's also cool is as part of these agent run, if there is an action that an admin needs to take, and you need a single place where you want to be able to see all this tasks that an admin would need to really address at their own pace. It will all be available as part of the admin task, which is a new capability that we announced. A single stop for the admins to come look at all the things that they need to review and take action on is this capability. Again, we have continued to add more workloads to the Explorer scenario. What was very interesting is some folks really didn't know about the Explorer capability. So that's part of the AI offering within Intune. And it is available as part of its own option on the L1 menu of the Intune Admin Center, where admins will be able to leverage a way to ask questions from the workloads that's already available. One feedback that we have received and we are actively working on is providing more of a free flow and an open prompting option within the Explorer capability. So that feedback we've heard loud and clear, and we are working on it. And I now see Lior back on my screen. So hopefully he can talk about all the non-AI related announcements that we had at Ignite. So he doesn't feel very bad.
Yeah, wait, we announce anything that is not AI related?
We actually you guys did, and I think there are a lot of very good things, including the Windows recovery stuff.
Yeah, QML.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that one.
Yeah, a lot of excitement, absolutely. Yes, as Lavanya mentioned, and I cut it the second half. I apologize for some technical issues. Even my computer is ready for holiday week. It's that one of the things that we heard a lot about is first of all the ability to bundle all of the updates for drivers and devices and firmware together in a specific time frame. Something that is a big game changer for a lot of IT admins that are looking to ensure employee satisfaction and user satisfaction, but on the same time ensure security. That was a big deal that we heard about. The Windows recovery is another game changer for us, because I know that a lot of people used to mention that it was available in our on-prem solution, and is that something that was crucial? I think from a security perspective as well, it's a game changer, because we do need to make sure that all of the settings and capabilities are moving from one version to another. That was something that we also unblocked from a perspective of moving from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Allow companies to take a more aggressive schedule to move from 10 to 11. But also another big emphasis that I mentioned during the session is the shift from Azure, so AD to Entra. And the fact that when you're moving from on-prem or hybrid to a full cloud native, you do need to format your machine and restart it and reinstall the image. With that being said, the ability to do the backup and restore, it's another game changer in the sense of saving time, but also ensuring security.
Yeah, definitely. So there was a specific breakout session regarding this topic. I will try to find it and also paste it into the chat, because the recording is available online. So I really highly recommend watching it. There are a couple of very, very great details there, and also a timeline of when certain things will be released. James, maybe a question for you. What do you think about this recovery? Is that good? Is that not necessary?
I think it's absolutely necessary. Obviously, it's bigger than just Intune. The last thing you want to do is try and wipe a device and it not be usable, especially if it's not something you can switch out from. You can't just give the user a new device. So any additional functionality that can keep a device up and running is good in my opinion. I think to Lior's points, there's also the security aspect of it. There's always that bit of time if you're provisioning a device and it's not up to date, or if you're getting it from an OEM or something, it's not up to date, and making sure the device is secure from the moment that a user is using it. They're all really good features for sure, and have nothing to do with AI, so that's good too.
Wait for Lavanya to add something on top of it.
Why? I think Jason did a phenomenal job.
All right. So Maxime is going to add the link to the session into the LinkedIn live chat. So if anyone wants to look at it, yeah, he just posted it. I think it's very useful stuff that is going to be released. Wait, what was it?
Ugur, can I also just add a quick note?
Yes, please.
All the sessions that Lior and Sangeet presented, and also Jason's session, there was a delay in folks being able to capture the recording after the fact. We have shared this feedback with the core organizers. We are aware of it. We apologize, but that's something that we are actively working on, and we hope not to run into that issue for next year.
Yeah, I heard about the session, also about the labs that confused a lot of people with errors and being interrupted, right? Yeah. We have one question here from the chat. I think that should be mentioned, like at the first sentence of this stream today, is that SUs are now included in the full M365 E5 licenses, right? So there were a lot of sessions at Ignite around Security Copilot, standalone, obviously in the portal, but also the embedded experiences in Intune and other portals as well. All of them are now way easier to use for most companies and enterprises, because SUs were kind of a roadblocker for most people.
Yeah. Again, one thing I do want to call out, I cannot tell you how excited I am personally about this announcement, because having been involved with the GenAI experience right from the beginning, one of the biggest feedback that we've got from our customers is, oh, we want to use this, but we don't know how to plan for it. Again, no filters here. So we have heard your feedback, and it's taken the longest. And I think the person on this call who's closest to this is Lior, because he knows how much I have really been advocating for our customers and saying that we really want them to try out. We really want them to have an easy experience coming on the Intune portal. So this announcement is big. One thing that I will add is this is going to be a phased rollout, and 30 days prior to when it will be available on your tenant, you will receive an email notification from Microsoft saying that you are now part of this, and within 30 days, it'll be enabled in your experience. So if any of you have any issues along the way, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, because this is something that we have been working very hard to ensure that our customers are having a great experience. So from an onboarding perspective or from a sign-up perspective, if there is any challenge whatsoever, then you know whom to reach out. Any hard questions can go to Lior, all easy questions I'll take.
I had already some interest from customers with that announcement. So they're very anxious to receive the mail. So they are waiting, basically. I showed them some stuff previously before the announcement, and they were impressed. But like you said, Lavanya, they couldn't fit it into the business-related cases or and or budget things, but this will be a game changer, definitely. Pano had also some very good questions in the Security Copilot MVP chat around costs and how they would be used, or how would they be the capacities used. But I was just reading it. It's too long to do here, but I'm definitely gonna ping one of you to take this offline, because it's way too complicated for this, and we run out of time, definitely.
Yeah.
On that note, I've been trying to do the best testing that I can on the policy creation
Me too.
agent, and it seems to be like a really small amount of SCUs that it's using when you're doing stuff. So that feels very positive in terms of the people being able to get the most out of their inclusion.
Yeah,
I think
and
this
one
is
thing
it's a good gateway to those who don't have E5 to get E5, and it's a good gateway for those who are already on E5 to start using Security Copilot, and then they can justify the extra spend on SEUs if they run out, right? If you're a large org with a lot of E5s, you might even be fine just with the included SEUs, but I guess we'll see how this goes.
I agree. And one thing I would call out, Yuri, going back to your point, we on the engineering side are actively working on also figuring out a optimized way in which the AI experiences can run, which is where, James, to your point, the number of SEUs that's consumed for these agents will be pretty minimal, because that insight and exposure will still be available in the usage dashboard as part of the inclusion, just that you don't need to configure the SEUs, and it will be handled as part of the announcements of the limits, and everything is available on the inclusions page as well, which is an external facing blog post and docs. So if there are any questions, we would be happy to address them.
Yeah, sounds good. I think this topic around all the agents deserves a very long discussion, because it's very important, and it shows which direction Microsoft and then all others are going with all the agentic AI automations. I want to change the topic away from AI, to be honest, to something differently that is also very awesome, at least for me. And I would like to hear some opinions on that. Maybe Louis, starting from you, regarding phase deployments.
I think I've not actually seen this feature. I was too busy at Ignite to look at what happened at Ignite, but from what I'm seeing on screen, this looks pretty cool. I can set a policy and then get it to deploy over the next few weeks and pause it if I need to. Is that how this works?
Yeah, maybe, Lior, you're here. Maybe you can go into more details if you want to.
Yeah, pretty much what and Sangi covered this capability is a big piece is the ability to add like the ring deployments and apply it. So it allows you to kind of face deployment, and the way that we talked about it in our session was as part of the security piece of the zero trust piece. The idea that when you deploy policies, you are able to do it on a ring-based deployment, and allows you to kind of test it to make sure that it doesn't cause any vulnerabilities, doesn't introduce any risk, doesn't break anything, and then continue expanding it over X amount of time that you decide. And I believe that Sangi also mentioned that this is similar to the auto patch ring deployments that we are using.
And just a question, will it also include the same functionality like with the auto patch groups that you also create from, for example, it's assigned to one group that you then can create 3 ring deployments to that new policy? Or do you need to create those groups yourself to do the phase deployment?
That is something that I'm probably going to have to double click on. As Louis mentioned, we were very busy with Ignite, physical Ignite last week. So more than happy to look into it and get back with you guys.
The thing I like about this as a concept, though, is sometimes, especially in smaller teams, I think it can probably scale up as well, is that you have an intention to set a policy, you get buy-in for that policy. You start with the test group, which might be IT, and then you forget about doing the rest of it. So if you can set all your phases up from day one, you're hitting more endpoints in a sooner time, and the job is actually being done.
Yeah, I really like it as well. It's the approach we take at our company, Yuri and I. And it's nice to see that it's getting integrated in Intune itself.
And I would say that if it's not generating or creating the groups and putting devices in there like AutoPatch does automatically, I think that should be a option to enable to automate it even more. But that feature definitely makes sense for a lot of use cases. We got a question from Thomas in the chat. Is phase deployment for all policies, including endpoint security? I didn't try it out yet, but it says on the slide, it says for applications and policies initially.
I would assume that means settings catalog, which is endpoint security. So
probably.
Yeah. All right. Any more questions in the chat that I missed? Let me check. Yuri, is there anything that I missed?
I'm following up. There are some questions about training. We want official trainings for the latest enhanced in Intune, so that we learn and do hands-on experience. And if you're a partner, you can go to the CDX site to spin up a demo tenant with licenses, and then you can play around with it. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there are any official real trainings around Intune. But that's a question that I
think it's an extremely valid feedback. Yeah. It's let me share it internally and see what we can do. Also, I know that we have a lot of great MVPs on the screen right now, so we can also look to see if we can do some sort of collaboration around it as well. So one of those solutions we're gonna take, but I think it's a valid point. We need to announce, but we also need to train.
Definitely. I mean, I feel it's very hard to keep up with all the news around Intune currently. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
And I want to emphasize something. Ignite is an announcement period for Microsoft overall. However, I can assure you that from Intune perspective, there is more to come in the coming months. So this is just the beginning.
Awesome. Next topic. Somesh, this is for you. If you can answer that question.
Bring it on, man.
Let me share my window. Let me try to not mess the layout out again. This is about multi-admin approval.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use that?
No, it's not being that much used. Rather, we have automations in place. Yeah, but people were excited about this announcement after the at booth, especially regarding the again, I would switch back to agents. For example, agents also requesting multiple approval. But the thing is, small organizations would like to go for multi-agent or multi-admin approvals, but bigger enterprises, they are still yet to explore.
Yeah, we are going to deploy it in our own company. Especially, we just decided that we also gonna have Max enrolled in our company in a special sort of way, and we want to avoid accidental wipe and deletions of those devices, because we're going to enroll them in dual boot, because it's mostly bring your own devices, but for macOS it doesn't exist. So we're going to do a dual boot. But from my own experience, if you do a dual boot and you enrolled your second partition in Intune and you do a wipe, your complete disk gets wiped. So so that's one main reason why we are going to do multi-admin approval for the devices.
Yeah, just I mean, on a slide it mentions agent-supported workflow. Lior, is there any details what that currently means regarding the multi-admin approval?
So as you've seen at the admin tasks dashboard, and when we announce admin tasks, we also said that in Q1 we're going to have agent tasks that are coming to the admin on behalf of the agent. And that's something that you're going to see that it will include some of the agent tasks, that some of it is also the multi-admin approval request. So the agents are always able to bring, will be able to bring tasks to the list. However, it's always going to be a human that needs to approve it. So it's kind of an assistant that help you to surface additional administrative tasks that needs to be addressed.
Got it. I found these. So you talk about the admin task. I found that very interesting, to be honest. It brings a bit more security to overall all the Intune tenants, in my opinion, to also streamline all the settings in the tenants. So if I'm not mistaken, it basically shows all the actions with endpoint privilege management, multi-admin approval in a single overview, right? To take actions easily for the admin. Is that the use case for the admin tasks?
Lior, I can chime in and add more.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Good, Lavanya.
Because I was just talking with the PM and sharing some of the feedback that I heard at Ignite. So yes, Ugur, you are absolutely right. It is that one surface where admins really don't need to worry about going into different blades and looking at the actions that they need to take as part of the different workflow. It could be a change review agent that has an action for the admin to take, or it could be an explorer run, which needs an action of adding some of the devices to a given enter group. It can be any of this, right? So the admin task is that one place where a one-to-end list of all the actions that an admin needs to take. But wait, it is not just this, right? The other feedback that we got extensively from our customers when we announced at Ignite is, oh, can we have different surfaces to be notified about these actions that could be taken? So I was literally just brainstorming before this meeting on other avenues, and we are trying to figure out if an email would be a best option, Teams would be a best option. So those are some things that I'm actually exploring with the PM who is responsible for this feature. So stay tuned. Hopefully next Ignite, we will have something more cool coming in regard to the surfaces where we would want our admins to be notified as well.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I noticed one of the things that the admin task shows is stuff that's coming in from Defender, right? And that's been in Intune for a while. Security people in Defender can hit like request remediation, and that feeds into. Most people didn't know that was a thing, or security people might know it on their side, but actually viewing those in Intune. I didn't know until relatively recently that pane existed at all. So having all of those centralized is really good. I'm guessing this is maybe kind of future, or you could kind of do it right now. But say a remediation request came in from Defender, deploy this policy or something. Right now, that it would show you what to do, but there wouldn't be a way to like take that into the policy creation agent automatically to then just make that easier on the admins to go end to end.
That is absolutely right, James, right? But that's something that we are exploring to say how some of these signals, we can take it into the actions that they may need to take as part of another agent. Today, each of the agents are an independent entity, but at some point in time, we may need to have a way in which we bring them all together. So that's something that we are actively exploring.
And I'll share with you. I will share with you a feedback or a secret. A lot of those type of conversations that we're doing right now, and the feedback that we hear, is what we're taking back to kind of roadmap discussions, enhancement discussions. So this is your time, especially in the chat, to put kind of your points of view on those type of tasks and what would you like to see in the IT admin task dashboard. Provide as much detail as possible. So it's gonna position Lavanya and myself to be better equipped to work with the team and see what can be done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. Somesh, yes, please.
My connection dropped. Were you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So since we are back to agents, so one feedback that I received most after the session in the booth was the device offboarding agent. Since like the second most question was like how we start a journey from hybrid to cloud only, and since this was related to the device offboarding agents, so people were like most questions like since it does not support the currently hybrid Azure AD join, and we starting a journey from hybrid Azure to cloud only. So there like is there any timelines or plans? None of that will be announced for like this agent specifically for like when you're moving from on-prem to cloud, supporting the hybrid Azure device joins also.
I was unofficially at the booth. I wasn't signed up to it, but I did spend a few hours just chatting to people. And it's interesting how discussions are now about how to do hybrid to cloud rather than what is hybrid to cloud. So there were people genuinely interested in doing the Intune as a cloud native device rather than having hybrid join or questioning why they're even doing hybrid join. Another thing I think it's quite interesting just to add is the uptake around hot patch. Lots of people just switching that on, seeing that it works. There's not really any downside to turning on a hot patch. You just enable it with a quality update and you get security patches faster. I think what it's important to mention is that what it doesn't really mean is fewer reboots, as that was the initial marketing message around it, I think. Once you change that messaging and say, actually, you can get compliant quicker with no effect, as long as you're using auto patch, which is a prerequisite, you can turn on hot patch and there's really not going to be any impact to your environment.
That's an excellent point, yeah. I have one more topic from Ignite, which makes me personally excited because I use that feature a lot. Let me share the slide. It's about the Explorer. It now supports more workloads, including advanced analytics. So querying this data is also very, very valuable for customers to get a better understanding of the environments. That's really good.
Especially like for app inventory sort of things, like a queries it supports.
Exactly. Yeah, device timelines, etc.
Device timelines, yeah.
Very, very valuable.
So it's like no more quick UL running, just use Explorer.
Exactly. And I think the natural language support is even better now with more queries supported. So it's really good.
Yeah.
I would love to actually get the feedback on or your insights on this demystifying piece that we did about the latency at Intune. I was like, I love that I'll admit it. I live in a lot of homes and I read a lot of feedback on our product, and this 8 hours meet was so consistent. And also was used by other companies as well. And when we're looking at the data and we see that our P50 is 50% of the notifications is less than 5 minutes, that's something that you feel that landed well. Do you feel that? Have you heard any feedback?
Personally,
who wants to start?
Yeah, personally, not yet.
I mean, I know from using Intune that it isn't an 8-hour sync. I just know that if you deploy an application right now, you'll find that within 10 minutes there are certain devices where you'll see the toast notification to say the app is installing. Same with a policy. If I push a policy from Microsoft Edge, there are users that have that policy in 10 to 15 minutes. And as we always say, if you think Intune is slow, go and make a mistake in your config and you'll find it deploys rapidly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Never 8 hours.
I think all platforms are DDM based, so it's immediate. Yeah. But what people think is like it should be within 1 second. So as Lewis said, just try to make it. And if it's not immediate, then complain.
So I think what really is missing right now is a bit of the admin experience in the portal. So admin wants to have some kind of predictability. So if they change anything inside a setting or settings catalog policy that's applied to a certain group, we need a better visual experience in saying, hey, this is the progress. It now applied on 5 devices, 2 are pending, 3 are will not getting applied because they're offline or stale devices. Having more insights into what really happens if you assign a policy to certain groups, I think would be even better. But the 8 hours isn't. It's not the case in today's world anymore.
It's the uncertainty that people don't like.
Yeah.
And that's not just Intune specific, that's any product or service. I'd rather know what is happening rather than not. And it could still take an hour, but updates are crucial. We've all ordered Domino's pizza, right? When it tells us when the pizza's being made and who, what they're doing to it. Is it in the car? I like that experience, but sometimes in Intune you hit something and you see nothing, and then half your devices are green because it's applied a few hours later, and then you have to wait for the other bits. So the portal might not always accurately reflect what has happened on the devices.
Yeah, I think that people are willing to wait X amount of time if they have like something that they can look at in which state it is. From my own experience, I've done a lot of device wipes lately, and they went basically instant, which wasn't the case like 6 months ago. But that's just one aspect, and it goes across the board. So not only Windows, and definitely for mobile devices, iOS and Android, do a wipe. It's basically seconds when the device is restarted. So good job for that.
And I want to emphasize something over here. The message about the latency, yes, it's always fun to demystify some internet stuff. However, it's more about I want to put focus on what we're doing from Intune perspective. Yes, we have launched the Intune suite. We have launched our Copilot experience, but we want to emphasize very, very importantly that all of our core, all of our ecosystem of Intune is still number one priority for us from a focus perspective. We constantly focus on enhancing the admin experience, improving latency, improving reporting, as you've seen with Explorer, and you're going to see a lot more of it coming. What you've seen right now at Ignite was a lot of spins of great stuff that we and the approach that we're taking with Intune. But as I mentioned in this call, a lot more great things are coming, and we're going to build on top of it. Our approach is to bring to the market a feature that is good, but acknowledging that every feature that we release, we're going to continue enhancing it with the time and add more capabilities. So when we launch something at the beginning, it's not necessarily a feature complete. We're always going to continue enhancing and developing it. So that's a feedback that sometimes I heard in community events of, hey, Lior, you're doing such a great job with the Intune suite, and we see all of the capabilities of Copilot, but what about Intune? Intune, the product itself that's been around for 15 years. And I think that the majority of the enhancements that we talked about in the Sangi and I session were about what is coming from the Intune core, from the Intune platform perspective and the enhancements. So a lot more great stuff is coming.
And just to quickly add on that, I think sometimes if you don't have the connections that we have to the product managers or people like you guys, it can sometimes feel like Microsoft haven't heard the feedback, or you're the first person giving that feedback on Reddit or in Discord or wherever. I can guarantee you that Microsoft have either read or seen the positive or the negative thing you're about to say about the product multiple times, by either from us, or they do read Reddit, they just won't tell you they do. So they are watching and they understand it.
Well, here I'm telling you, I'm doing it. I read a lot. I see the feedback on a different website. It's a great feedback, and I want to make it clear, because I've made it clear many times in the past. Your feedback, everything that we see online, as long as it's respectful, we always aggregating and bringing to our sprint discussions and our planning discussions. We're taking the feedback very seriously. When we see something on the internet and it's fairly repetitive, or even in a side discussion at the community or event, or if you saw me or Lavanya at walking around at Ignite, those conversations, we always take notes on them. We always take actions. We aggregate this information. We try to make sense out of it. What is the real ask over here? And we just talked about it from a latency perspective. A lot of people talked about the latency, but I think that Luis just called it out, that it's more about giving you the visibility of what's happening within a tenant. So, but people presented it as latency. So, if you read on the online, you see, oh, Intune needs to be faster, but it's not necessarily Intune needs to be faster. Intune needs to provide more visibility and better reporting, and this is what we are constantly doing. So when we're releasing stuff like Explorer, which is a game changer in my personal opinion, in a sense of insights, data accuracy, the ability, how fast it is. And again, we have with a single device query from Intune Suite, the ability to see almost at live data from the devices and device inventory, if multi-device query. All those capabilities, more and more will be added over there and give you this information. So keep giving the feedback, keep sharing the feedback. It's definitely easier when you reach out to us directly or to our lovely MVPs over here on the call and give us this feedback versus putting it on a subreddit somewhere, because it's a little bit more complex to find it. However, my LinkedIn, and I know Lavanya's LinkedIn in messages is always open for all of your insights. And I can tell you that I get about 30 to 40 messages a day on LinkedIn with feedback and asks, and a lot of this feedback has been taken into consideration.
And also making it a reality in the product, the feedback that we get. And EFI inclusion is actually an outcome of some of the feedback that we've been getting from you all. Same goes to multi-admin approval and EPM. I'm just quoting a few, but those are all reality. Again, people have heard a famous quote from me, right? Like, we as product managers definitely do not want to build a capability that's going to sit there on the shelf. Instead, we want to build something that really matters to our customers. So feedback is a gift, and we are actively all the time looking for feedback. And I'm sure the MVPs on the call here definitely do agree to that statement from my end, because all the time I'm like, okay, what's working, what's not working, what can we do better, right? Sometimes if something is not still there in the product, there are some real technical challenges, or it can be a compliance related issue or an RAI concern that may be there. But we are definitely keeping track of the feedback that we are getting from different sources. Again, like Lior mentioned, if you have something, please bubble it up. Please don't add it in some smaller font in some subreddit post. It might be harder for us to get a handle on it because of the way the portal might be set up. But if there is something that you can definitely share on the Intune feedback, send a smiley or send a note. We would be happy to review that and circle back on our roadmap related insights.
That's definitely true. For instance, Security Copilot feedback is definitely listened to. I asked some questions that I asked before, but with different settings in it, and the answer I got today was like spot on, and a lot more information regarding the question. So that was definitely a huge step forward in my opinion. So I tried a couple of other questions with some other questions for settings and policies. Always spot on, and much more information, which is a very, very, very good thing.
About the feedback thing, I've heard a number of people say, "Oh, what's the point in providing feedback? Like it'll just go into nowhere." But that's not true. To your point, Lavanya, that's not true, right? If somebody hits in the portal, they hit the give feedback. That humans actually do read that. It's not.
Oh
just
yeah,
being
in fact
filed.
we Yeah, in fact, we review that on a regular basis. Sometimes it's like when we are going through the feedback, it's categorized as well, James, right? Like, okay, is this related to AI experience? Is this related to updates experience or something related to policies? And then the PMs and engineering in that space, then they go start funneling down those feedback, trying to figure out what's needed and what's not.
I just have, I want to mention that here publicly. I think the one thing that really is missing, and Lavanya, you also talked about it a bit, is notifications directly natively available in Intune. That would be a huge win. Currently, we do a lot of Azure Functions runbooks and then send out webhooks to different systems, ticketing systems, to teams, sending emails out. That shouldn't be necessary. For example, the multi-admin approval, I have to go as an admin, I have to go to the portal to approve an action, but I don't get a notification if there is a new action for me to take, right? So that's currently missing. I mean, that's one thing that misses currently, but I'm sure this is something that I also gave as feedback to a couple of your engineers and product managers. But I heard what you said, that you guys are definitely talking about notifications in Intune.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
we talked about it a couple of times already in our Intune roundtables. Like a designated Intune notification system will be very beneficial.
Okay, I skipped a lot of questions from the chat. Yuri, you pinged me. Where was the question?
It was a question about auto patch. In the future, can we create different isolated auto patch group that not goes under the main group? For example, an admin device versus a production device. Yep, that's the one.
So the thing is that you want to look at from a auto patch perspective. There is, besides of the deployment rings, you actually have the auto patch groups piece that you are actually able to set up in those auto patch groups different sets of devices and users based on what you're looking to specify. It's originally designed to be more of a geographic location, department. So, for example, if you wanna make sure that every deployment ring includes a representation of the finance team because they have a line of business apps or stuff like that, you wanna deploy it. Or if you wanna make sure that a specific office in Asia is getting the last deployment ring on things like that. So I'm wondering if the auto patch groups that I just mentioned is something that answering the question. And if not, would love to understand a little bit more and can share it with the auto patch team definitely.
Yeah, maybe I think it's Avi or Avi. Just message Lior, I would say, on LinkedIn. Give him more details so he can discuss it internally.
Yeah, what's the use case? What is exactly you're looking to accomplish?
Exactly. There's one more message by Avi. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Autopilot enrollment, error timeout. More information, the ESP, what and why is failing. That will save time troubleshooting. Yes, I agree. One more on the list for you guys, wish list. We should collect these wishes somewhere.
Just cut the number of apps you have on the ESP. That's probably why it's failing. Or do what I do and turn ESP off. But that's slightly controversial.
Skip user state.
Yep, skip the user state, get straight to the desktop. I can get there in 4 minutes on our setup.
But I think it's not only. I mean the he's asking in regarding to troubleshooting. I don't think like it's not only autopilot which makes troubleshooting a lot harder currently. It's so we talked about admin experience in the portal with progress bars showing what really happens, but also if something fails, we want to understand why it fails. In some cases, we have to look into the Graph API responses because sometimes the payload in the Graph API shows me details of what failed and why it fails. For example, the compliance policies, right? But the UI shows something differently or is cut off. it's also missing from my point of view to really troubleshoot certain issues. It's not just autopilot. It's a lot of more cases.
Just bringing Copilot and SCUs back into the equation there. That yeah, I'm just thinking like that would be a potentially really valuable use case. Like a deployment has failed, Intune has collected the autopilot diagnostics. Tell me what went wrong, so I don't have to look at pages and pages of IME logs. Having to find a copy of CM trace so I can actually make sense of it, because looking at it in Notepad is useless. Like providing some of that feedback and value in getting Copilot to tell me what went wrong rather than me having to trawl through logs.
Yeah, funny enough,
an ESP agent sending data to another autopilot agent directly.
Yeah.
Like the ESP agent collects all the data real time, machine fails, the other agent reads simultaneously, and this is boom, while it failed. Live streaming to Entra or a security copilot.
Yeah. We created a troubleshooting agent for this certain scenario in Security Copilot. So if anyone wants to give it a try, it's available in the Security Store. But again, I wish it would be natively available, integrated in the UI. All right, we have 9 minutes left. I would not try to cover a new topic. Instead, I would give every one of you a chance to tell people watching what you think about Ignite, what's coming up with Intune, what are you excited about, what is good, what is bad. Maybe James, starting with you.
Throw me at deep end. The news about the inclusion in E5 genuinely took me by surprise. I was not expecting that. But I think it's really, really exciting about the potential of giving more people access to some of the amazing, cool stuff that you guys are building. I think I'm excited about endpoint people being able to get some of the value of that as well. I think up until now, Security Copilot has been gone into by security teams, and endpoint EUC teams don't get the value of that. So I'm super excited about more people being able to see all of this cool stuff.
Somesh, what about you?
For me, the biggest surprise again was the SCUs in E5. And like we never thought, although Lior was saying MVPs, we get ready for some surprise, we were getting surprise from agents, some new agents, but for this thing, no. And the second most surprising thing was the PSSO setup assistant on Slack and everywhere. People were saying like Microsoft took 2 years for PSSO 2 coming out and really announcing in 6 months when Apple announced, within 6 months announcing and doing a private, not a private preview, but like showing it in the screen that PSSO working was a big win for competitors. Like hats off, like within a couple of months, PSSO would be ready and it's almost working. So these two were like really surprised. And I think since I mostly work on Apple, so the two more announcements, compliance and DDM coming up, I think Microsoft will be closing all the gaps that were really only available for Apple team. So we have zeroed in, nothing left for the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah, it's great. Lewis?
I think the in-person experience is very good. I think it's very fun to see people face to face and have people come up to you that you've never met and say, hey, I saw you on Discord or I saw you on LinkedIn or wherever. I think one of the best byproducts of Copilot for me is that everyone being so focused on wanting Copilot is making them have to do foundational tenant security. So everybody is now looking at Entra, are we secure there? Then we're looking at devices in Intune. Have we got all of the devices that we need in Intune? I've never seen so many people ask about Purview in the last 6 months than in the last 10 years of me being in IT. It was always that product everybody ignored until they absolutely had to use it. So whatever your stance is on AI or agentic or this future we're going in, it's really driving everyone to secure their tenants better, and that's what makes me happy about this.
Yeah. Maxime?
I don't know if my mic is working.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. That's some issues. I'm really looking for. I'm not going. I'm sorry, Lavanya, but I'm really looking forward to the recovery feature that is coming out into Intune. It's like it feels like a bit more hands-on than the AI stuff. So I really want to play with it, and I think like first-line support and so on is really going to have a good time with this kind of feature. And if we then can implement multi-admin approval on top of that, might be needed. It's going to be great. And of course, the E5 we can't get next to that. I didn't expect it as well. I thought Lior was also going to just say another agent or something, but
Yuri, how about you?
No, another agent. Yeah, obviously the E5, and then I have to second Somesh. I just this evening talked to a guy, and he was still saying, yeah, we should use Jamf for our Macs. I said, no, you're not. Just use Intune with the PSSO and the labs. The circle is round. You can do the Macs with Intune. Don't buy an extra license. You already have the license, so go for it. But yeah, the E5 and the SEUs caught us by surprise. That was as soon as Lizzie posted that, my phone rang 5 or 6 times. Is this true? Is this true? Yeah, people know that I'm working with the security co-pilot here in Belgium. I got chats over Teams instantly. Within 15 minutes, I got like 10 questions about it. So that is really, really, really a game changer. And yeah, looking forward to assist customers in their road to using the security co-pilot.
Okay.
And it's an upsell possibility to go from E3 to E5, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Don't get me started on E3.
We don't have that much time left, Lewis. Let's don't discuss this right now. We don't have time for that. Yeah, I mean, I want to give these two special guests here, Lior. Sorry, Somesh and Lewis, but Lior and Lavanya are the special guests for today. You guys, what about you both?
I'll let Lior go first.
Oh wow! Thank you, Lavanya. That's the first. Yes. Let's put it this way. If I were to read between the lines of Microsoft Ignite, without specifying too much information, this is the key takeaways that I would take from Microsoft Ignite. One, cloud native is not anymore a place to be that you need to be in the future. You need to be there now. Two, AI is not scary. And if you don't do change management and get to know AI and co-pilot capabilities, you're gonna find yourself behind very, very, very quickly. So we are in the holiday season. There is a lot of vacation time, and I'm sure that our IT pros really like to deep dive into technical and learnings. I'm actually going to share a blog next week about some learnings for the holiday season. However, take it very seriously. Take AI very seriously. Take Security Copilot very seriously. Take Azure AI Foundry very seriously. Get to learn about it. Get to understand it. Third, there is a lot of automation. There is a lot of reporting. There's a lot of great things are coming. Start thinking about how you doing your job differently in the coming years with all of the enhancements and all of the capabilities we announced. And lastly, because I have to be very encrypted language, it's the holiday season, and us at Intune, we don't like to give only 1 or 2 gifts. We like to give many gifts. Therefore, we didn't complete all of the gifts that we would like to give you all in the next couple of months. So in the next few months, so rest assured that you follow up and you follow what's going on, because this is only the beginning, and Intune is definitely becoming the number one solution for every IT admin from centralized reporting, centralized management, and more to come together with the great work that Lavanya and team is doing. And before I let Lavanya speak, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of our engineers and product teams and our finance teams and our marketing teams and everyone that works day and night to make sure that those capabilities and those features are coming to each one of you. But Lavanya, I will let you close.
Now, you know why I don't let you go, because it never stops. I would say a huge thank you to the folks here on the call who have taken time to dial in from wherever you're dialing in from the world, and also to the amazing folks here who are the organizers having invited us. I think this is a great privilege, and also I am going to keep it short because Lior has done the big speech. I'm going to keep it short. If you have any amazing ideas that you would like to see in the product, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. Happy to connect with you, understand what is it that you would like to see in the product. If you have feedback on any EFI inclusion as a customer who's already seeing this experience, and if there is something that's not working, please let us know, because this has literally, and I'm not even kidding, it has taken a village to make this a reality. So the whole idea is for it to be frictionless. If something is not working, let us know. And last and final thing is deployment plans kind of came quite a bit as part of today's conversation. There were some folks who spoke to me about deployment plan agent as well. So if you have some thoughts and ideas there, I would happy to brainstorm this more with you all offline. So you know where to find me. With that, I'm going to hand it back to you, Ugur. And thank you again for the opportunity to speak to the amazing audience out here.
I will just add 2 more questions. Ignite was great. It was fantastic meeting you guys again in person. I really love that you guys are very close to the community and also listen to our feedback that everyone had on the booths in the sessions. It also showed the interest in Intune because the sessions for Intune were really fully packed. So it's very, very great. Awesome. So thanks again for joining us for today's roundtable, Lior, Lavanya, Somesh, and Louis. Of course, we will be back with other guests next month for a special edition to review all the changes in Intune, all the new features in Intune for the full year of 2025. All right, then thanks again for watching, everyone, and have a great day, evening, whatever, wherever you are. See you.
See ya.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank
Bye.
you.